Yo, what's going on, guys? Melon back again, and today I'm going to be bringing you a new video showing off my pickups from the last 2 months and talking a bit about some of the more underrated stuff I think that's out there. So the first thing I wanted to talk about a bit is I am changing a couple of cards in sort of my main highest end binder, and one of the first pickups I had was I think 2 months ago from Gen Z Collector. I think he has an Instagram, but anyways, he's also in Seattle, and so we met up, did a deal for this PSA 9 Cyber Dragon for Stead. Basically, I just needed a very clean copy that I would feel comfortable cracking and then putting into my main binder. You can see that this thing is very nice. Maybe not gem mint quality, but mint is certainly good enough for my binder. Overall, very nice copy, and so I'll be cracking this and putting it into my binder. Cyber Dragon is one that I've always, considered buying, but it was never at the price that I really wanted. And so I found one at the price I wanted, and because I was able to just Venmo for it, obviously saved quite a bit of money. And it's just such a cool card. I love Cyberdark cards, and nice pickup there. Next up, I have two other things I'm adding to my main binder. One is this Pack Fresh Water Dragon Ultimate Rare out of Elemental Energy. This is a classic. It's a Bastion card, and it's one that I've loved since I was a kid. But I never got around to picking it up, and it's been going down, down, down in price. And so it seemed like a pretty obvious solution for me to pick it up. And then when I got it, I bought it off TCG Player. It ended up being like Pack Fresh. Like, I think there's a real chance the centering is honestly very good on it. I think I could send this and get a PSA 10. And so I was super happy when it arrived finally, and it looks really, really nice. The last Ultimate Rare I have for my main binder is Dandelion. This one's also very nice, and it's out of Astral Pack. Just a cool GX card that I'm happy to pick up. So those three, I'll crack this, and then I'll have a new row in my binder to replace one of my many rows of Mobius the Frost Monarch Ultimate Rare. So the next cards I want to show off are sort of more vintage slash older Ultimate Rare cards. So beginning with an Unlim Blackluster Soldier out of the structure deck Yugi Evolved. Funny enough, the first Yu-Gi-Oh cards I ever had, my brother convinced my mom that she would buy two structure decks. One would be this Yugi one that he had, and then I got the Kaiba one with the Blue Eyes Super Rare. And I think it was Kaiser Seahorse was the ultra rare. So this is a nostalgic card for me as well. Unlim, I just wanted to put it in my binder, and so it's a nice pickup there. Then I've got some random cards. This is actually one I've had for a long time. It was in a binder. I've never shown it off before, and I want to put it in one of my other binders. It was in a binder that I used to sell cards that I just don't even have listed right now. And I was like, why is that in there? So Cloudian Sheep Cloud, Cloudian's cool GX archetype. Not in the best shape, but the foiling is pretty cool on it, and I just generally like the archetype. Here is a German Kuriboh, Wing Kuriboh. Obviously, this one is not in the best of shape, but it is a German, and it was super, super cheap when I bought it. Like, not very expensive at all, and so I was happy to pick it up. First edition German foiling, that Euro print is quite nice. And so I'll put this in one of my binders. I am getting a bit more into sort of the Euro print cards. Besides my main binder, I don't really care if a card is English or not, and so it's just much cheaper to go after these Euro copies. We've got Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, very cool card. Cover card of Flaming Eternity, not super expensive, and just a fun overall card with nice artwork. It is a bit of a flatter Ultimate Rare, you can see that. It's honestly not too bad, but love this card, happy to pick it up. This one has a flat Ultimate Rare. It's out of Cybernetic Revolution. We've got UFO Fighter, fun one. This is an Unlim Italian, I believe. Bubble Man Ultimate Rare. You can see how crazy the foiling is on that. You can see the stars. Overall, just such an incredible foiling with awesome texture. I really do love these Euro Ultimate Rares, and as you can see, I'm getting a bit more into it. This is one of another Flaming Eternity Ultimate Rare with insane foiling. I don't know why the Sacred Phoenix doesn't pop as much as the Gearfried, but looks incredible, and it was like 15 bucks, I think. So pretty easy pickup for myself. And then the last ultimate rare I'll show is Prophecy Destroyer. A lot of people say that this one looks like a Magic the Gathering card art. Has a cool foiling on it as well, out of, what is this? Rise of the Duelist, I think, something like that. Or Return of the Duelist, I forget. Anyways, another cool card to finish, I think, a playset. So those are the ultimate rares. And then we're going to switch gears to what I think is one of the most underrated rarities right now in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And so this is something that I've been collecting a bit. It's the Prismatic Ultimate Rare. And my initial impression, I'd seen these, ever since they came out in Japanese, and the Japanese foiling looked insane, but I wasn't a huge fan. They've really grown on me, and so these look best out of the sleeve, so I'll show you guys what the pop looks like. You can see how the card really, or there's like an embossed part that comes out of the card. And so I really like this texture pattern, and something that's nice about these is that they are dirt cheap. Like, the most expensive Prismatic Ultimate Rare is probably under $10. And so you can just get a bunch of these things. A lot of these are like 20 to 50 cents. And so I'm a big fan of, being able to pick up a number of cards that look cool, that are very cheap. At the end of the day, scarcity and all that sort of stuff is what's going to drive the prices on, mint cards like this. But I can buy, like 1,000 of these for the price I paid for that. Or I don't know, 500, something like that. And so, can 500 Prismatic Ultimate Rares, is that more fun to collect than a single card? I don't know. It's a difficult value proposition. Obviously, they're not scarce and they're never going to be super expensive, but they look cool and I'm generally a fan. And so I'm going to try to collect more and more of them. The difficulty is that they are really limited to Rarity Collection 2. My opinion is that they should add these to the collector rare sets. I think this could be something that's like, one in every 6 packs or one in every 12 packs, something where it's like 2 a box. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It would make those sets a bit more valuable, or it allows stores to not lose as much on those sets, and I think it would be nice. Here's a Blue Eyes alternative. Again, this card was $1 or less, and it pops quite nicely, has a pretty cool texture pattern. Overall, really, really nice. So let me know what you guys think about these. I'm a big fan, and so, I'll continue to collect them. And there are a lot of cool ones. So here's another Blue Eyes card. It's Blue Eyes Spirit. You can see how it pops out of the back. Really, really nice. I will say that if you've seen like an Asian English or a Japanese version of these Ultimate Rares, it just, the North American and Euro English versions just get blown out of the water. But, even the North American version is really nice. It'd be cool if they could actually make our textures similar to the Japanese or Asian side of the card game. I don't know why we have to spend more for less, but that's a Konami level decision. Egyptian God Slime. This is one I actually already had one of. Pretty cool. I like this one a lot. There's not a whole lot of background for texture to be added, but you can see how it just pops so nicely out of the background. Very cool. So that's Egyptian God Slime. We've got E-Telly, another cool one. Very nice there. And then Gold Sarcophagus. This is one of the cooler ones. You can see there. Again, this is a very, very cheap card. And so I would just recommend, if there's Rarity Collection 2 stuff that's dirt cheap, now's the best time to buy it because, there's still a huge amount of supply on the market, and there's, the initial hype has kind of died down. And so a lot of this stuff is not moving too much in price because people are more focused on the Platinum Secrets and the Quarter Century Secrets. So overall, some nice value as a collector card. Fossil Dig. This had a number of high rarity printings recently. Still very cool, and dinos are always appreciated. And then finally, we've got Alpha, the Master of Beasts. Cool card. Pops quite nicely. I think this is Rarity 1. Yeah, this one's from Rarity 1. So we'll see what the Quarter Century Bonanza, what ends up coming out of that thing. I've got some opinions on that. I'll probably save that for another video. Actually, I'll just talk about it a bit. You know, it's going to be a banger of a set, but I stand by the fact that I think it's myopic. I think that, you know, one, the the thing that I thought was the funniest was when in the release or announcement they said we've never reprinted a quarter century secret rare. It's like, well, yeah, they've been around for like a year. That'd be just absurd if you had. Also, or maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I forget. But also, you've printed Starlights and then quarter century secrets in the same, of the same modern cards. It's like those rarities are so similar. And then the other thing is like they're trying to appeal to collectors, right? And say, well, we're not going to reprint this stuff. It's like, well, you're going to do a 30th anniversary, are you not? And you look at the 20th anniversary, which we didn't really get in the TCG, they look very, very similar to what was done for the quarter century or the 25th anniversary. So it's just like, who are you fooling here? These are prismatic collector rares. I've said before, I don't think prismatic collectors are that nice. A lot of these are just ones that I needed as throw-ins on TCG player purchases to get like free shipping. And so it ends up saving me money to add the, 30 cent or 50 cent prismatic collector rare. So got a couple of those. Bingo Machine Go. Blue Eyes card here. You can see how the foiling really doesn't look as nice as a regular collector rare, that's for sure. I've said it before. Not a fan of these prismatic collector rares. They just look so flat. It's just such an abomination of what I think the rarities should have been, and it just decentivized collectors from actually collecting collector rares. If you're going to name a rarity collector rare, you might as well make it something that collectors actually want. This one actually doesn't look too bad, but again, foiling texture is a bit lacking, I will say, and I'm not a huge fan of the sparkles. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, quarter century bonanza. So, they're printing 200 cards. There are a lot of ones that I think would be good selections. I was thinking about making an entire video on what I think they should do. There are cards that we have not seen in modern high rarity printings, but they're just going to reprint the same stuff over and over again. Who are we kidding? Think Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Collectors would love that card in a modern high rarity. But, we'll see if they do a card like that. I think it would make a lot of sense, but most of the things Konami does don't make a ton of sense. We've got Fairy Tale Luna. And so I think it's going to be a fun set to open, cool set to see, where everything ends up. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are the sets after the fact going to look like? I don't know. I really don't. We've got Book of Lunar Eclipse. This completes a playset of Lunar Eclipses. That's cool. So that's my only Starlight that I picked up. Then I've got a bunch of quarter century secrets, as you'll see here. Another Stardust Dragon. Just a really, really beautiful card. Astral Utopia, or not Astral, but number 39 Utopia. Very cool. Rescue Cats. I love these rescue cards, and Rescue Cat is definitely one of the best. Silent Magician. I bought a number of these, so I have more of these coming in. This is one that I look at, and I think it's a bit underrated. It's only like $7, I think, right now. So typically when something's underrated, I try to pick it up. Solemn Warning. Pretty cheap. Cool looking card. Got that one. Rescue Rabbit. I'm a big fan of rabbits, so I picked up 2 of them. I think I have a playset on the way. Overall, very beautiful card, and it's a pretty iconic card within the series, so I'm a big fan of the Quarter Century Secret. And a card like this is $2. It's like, you're really not paying a whole lot to get something that looks really, really nice. Enemy Controller at a Rarity Collection, another one. Looks cool. Had that recent Ultimate Rare, then they immediately printed it in Quarter Century Secret. Another one of those, kind of head-scratching moments from Konami, but this was not super expensive, and it looks very, very cool. Next up, I have some that I actually bought from Tier Zero. Tier Zero had this July 4th sale, I think. I can't remember if it was July 4th. They had some sale. If it was July 4th, that'd be funny, because they're from the UK, so I don't know why it was on July 4th. But anyways, they had this Horus card. I've been eyeing this thing, and I was able to get it at a very, very nice price. So I picked it up. Cool looking card. looks quite nice. Volcanic shell. This is one that surprised me. The European foil on this thing is like the flattest I've ever seen. I mean, it barely even sparkles when you compare it to, like, I don't know. Let's look at a rescue rabbit right here. Look at how much this sparkles. Then look at this flat. It's the same card sleeve. I'm not using anti-glare sleeves, but it looks like I'm using anti-glare sleeves for the volcanic shell. So a little disappointed in the foiling for the European side of this. What was this? Battles of Legend Monster Revenge. So it is what it is. Mystical Space Typhoon out of Rarity Collection. Very, very cool. Magicians of Bonds and Unity. Pretty cool modern collectible. This is the third one I needed. It was a very, very good price. They ended up getting bought out, and I didn't really see the value in buying these things at 90. You know, I'm looking at them. I still need the red one. That's the one I have left. I'm waiting for it to be, you know, I'll buy it once it's 40 bucks again. But you know, it was bought out. That's the reason it's so expensive now. I'll just let it return to what the actual market price should be. This is a quarter century secret rare done right. Quarter century bonanza. I think there is a such thing as too much of a good thing. Think about Ghosts from the Past 2, how crazy most of those ghost rares were. And then people just completely, because it was printed into the ground, just lost all interest in the ghost rare. Now, I predicted this. I was a bit wrong on the time scale that this would happen, but I said, ghost rares are too cool. I don't care if the foiling isn't as nice. People are going to like them. And once, you know, Ghost from the Past 2 was not a recent set. Now it's been a couple of years and it's a little bit less available. People are not cracking it open. The ghost rares are going to go up because they're not going to print another ghost rare for a long time, or at least it's going to be only in these limited sets. And then people are going to be going after them because they, you know, look at them as a premium rarity. Konami gutted the ghost rare, printed it into oblivion, but it wasn't, you know, as gutted as something like the Starlight, which the quarter century secret was printed out the wazoo. So, you know, now people are going back to the ghost rare, and so we'll see where that ends up. Final thing, we have Blue Eyes Spirits. This is one that I picked up when it was $5-6. I actually bought a playset because I was like, this is crazy cheap, just like the Silent Magician. And then one seller who had two of them ended up canceling. This was before it got bought out, so, you know, it was a legitimate excuse, didn't really mind. And then it exploded in price. Clearly other people were like, that Blue Eyes card being so cheap doesn't make a whole lot of sense when that is the high rarity. And so lo and behold, it is now a $20-something card, and I wish I had my other two copies. So that's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. It's been your boy Watomormelon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.